So I'd like to start off by asking you guys a question. When you think of a good leader, what qualities do you believe this leader to possess? I'll give you a few seconds to think about the qualities that you believe they may possess. Now, what type of person do you attribute to having these qualities? And I realize this is kind of a vague question, so let me be a little more specific. Do you believe an introverted person to have these qualities or an extroverted person to have these qualities? Because most people would say that an extroverted person would have the qualities or be the better leader compared to the introverted one. Today, I'm here to explain why I believe that introverted people actually make better leaders than extroverted people. So I have three main kind of ideas I want to share with you. So they are, one, that introverts are good listeners, they think deeply, and they let others shine. As I was doing research for this speech, I found these kind of ideas on biospace.com, and in my other research, I found more ideas that kind of supported these three main ideas. So the first category is that introverts are good listeners. Now, being a good listener means that introverts can have meaningful conversations with the people that they are leading. And on greatplacetowork.com, it explained that having good listening skills, having meaningful conversations creates meaningful relationships, and it allows for compassion and empathy between leaders and the people that they are leading, which is very important to overall dynamics in the team, in the group, and overall morale of the people. As well, because introverts are good listeners, they aren't easily distracted. Now you may be wondering, why does good listening correlate to not easily distracted? So an introvert listens to the needs and the issues of the people they're leading. They know where things need to be made better. So they're not going to be distracted by things that are not very important or not really wrong at the moment. Someone who doesn't listen may believe these other issues to be significant when they actually aren't, and then they're being distracted by things that don't really matter in the scheme of things. The second point I wanted to bring up is that introverts think deeply. Now, because introverts think deeply, problems don't freak them out. So if the people they are leading come to the introvert with a problem, the leader, they're going to not be freaked out outwardly anyways. They're not going to show anger or they're not going to be upset outwardly, which is good because the people they're leading are not going to be freaked out by their reaction. Second, because introverts think deeply, this problem that has just hypothetically been presented to them will have a solution made very, very thought out. The solution will not be made hastily. It won't be made split second. The introvert is going to think about the problem, think about it deeply, think about all the different solutions they could use, and come up with a solution that they think is going to work best, which ultimately avoids the consequences that could be brought on by a hasty decision. Finally, the third point is that introverts let other people shine. So on Inc.com, it was explaining that introverts don't micromanage because their goal is not to make themselves look the best. If someone that they're leading, someone on their team, does something and they're very good at it and they do it well, an introvert is not going to try and insert themselves into that or tell the person how to do it differently or anything of that matter. And if they did do that, if someone is micromanaging, that is just, it's annoying. That's the best way to put it. And it just doesn't allow for good team dynamics or team morale because they feel like their leader doesn't trust them or doesn't allow them to do anything on their own. The second kind of relates to that whole no micromanaging thing as to why, because introverts let other people shine, they're focused on the productivity of their team. They're not focused on making themselves look good. If things are going smooth, if this person is doing something and it's really helping, they're not going to be like trying to change things to make them look better. They want their team they want to look good with their whole team. They don't want just themselves to look good. So, in conclusion, I have three main qualities that introverts possess that I believe make them better leaders than extroverts. That is, introverts are good listeners, they think deeply, and they let others shine. So as I wrap up my speech, I just want to ask you to examine leaders in your life, or examine leaders you know, or if you find someone who you believe to be a good leader, ask yourself if they're an introvert or an extrovert. Look at the qualities that they possess and see if they match up to the qualities of an introvert. Because more likely than not, you will find multiple good leaders that are introverted people who still are very good leaders. Thank you for listening.